self-defense, apparently, her husband got killed, and he'd been abusing her.
Who killed the husband?
She did.
She killed. Oh,
But,
wow.
but according to her, allegedly it was an accident. But apparently she'd been suffering from abuse for a long time from him. You know, he's always beating her, doing all sorts of things to her. But he doesn't work. She works, goes out to work, comes back, sells groundnuts and things like that. And you know, she's kind of like the breadwinner for the home. And then comes back and then suffers abuse from somebody who is not working. And they're barely
This is her story, isn't it?
Yeah, that's her story, according to her. So like, well, again, she was suffering from abuse as usual, as she normally does. And then in the process of that, she grabbed a knife to defend herself. And apparently stabbed him and he died.
My first wish is, does she have witnesses? Because, I mean, today we're talking about domestic abuse in general.
Yes.
And we know it could be either way. So does she have witnesses? This is the story she's told us. The man isn't alive to defend himself.
Well, the witnesses were apparently, like, some people said, oh, that they normally see her with like bruises and marks which she hides and covers up. So I guess that could be seen as signs that people have noticed. But apart from that, it's only both of them that were in there, locked in a shed, and he was beating her. So it's kind of tricky.
It's kind of
It is tricky.
He must have pushed her to go.
So Mr. Favor, what with that kind of situation, you know, we're gonna have Mr. Favor later on the show telling us more about domestic violence from a male perspective. But for now, with this kind of situation in Africa as well, for that matter, with no witnesses, just you and the abuser together, no cameras, nothing.
Right, at some point in your program, like you said, I might be talking much about African thing.
Yeah.
Right. Assessing domestic violence victims, sometime or most time, you get the man or the woman who come to report to you, my husband did this, or that my wife did this, or did that, and did that. They make themselves look like the victims.
Yes.
But by the time you now carry out your professional assessment using the respect toolkit, which we normally use, you find out that the so-called victim is actually the perpetrator. So some of them, which we have seen, you see people come around, pretend to have bruises and wounds, physical wounds, just to show up the police or the local authority that this is what my partner has been doing to me. But then they are actually the perpetrators. But that doesn't mean to say they are not sincere victims. They are.
Stephanie, what do you think?
I have a very personal, this is very personal to me because I've gone through domestic violence, and I think there was once my ex-partner, I was about to call the police on him, and he called the police first, and he was reporting to the police that I abused him just to, you know, to cover up. So I think it's very hard to say when there's no evidence. I don't think anyone should wait till that happens. If you are in a domestic violence relationship, get out. If your man is abusing you, don't wait till you're on the news, for God's sake. You have children, you have your life, because if you are abused, there's no way you can live your life to the fullest. You're changing yourself, who you are for this person, and it's never enough. No matter what you do, the person will still continue. Even if you change yourself to exactly what they want you to be, they're not satisfied. So get out. Don't wait till you get on the news first. Please get out of that relationship. That's what I would say.
And the parents or couples, they should always think about how their action affect their children.
Because the kids,
but
because
sorry,
the children, they really go through
Stephanie, sorry, sir. Stephanie, just to cut you off there, some people believe that because they've got kids involved, they should stay. One and two, some people have been so abused and knocked down that they feel they have no self-worth. They just feel like, okay, this is me, let me just stay here. So for those kind of people, what do you think they should do?
I think it's a constant struggle, isn't it? Because you're never enough. So it's a life of, women have died, men have died. So and I know it's very difficult to be, you get to your lowest, but you have to find strength somehow. That's why it's good to call the numbers. We're very lucky in the UK. There are lots of numbers you can call. If you Google, you can get the helplines for. When you call them, they will tell you what to do. So it doesn't take long. Just call them and say, "See, I think I'm being abused," and they'll give you advice and support.
And it's important to know you're not alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's happening in your house. It's happening in another house. You're not alone. You're not isolated.
Yeah, and it impacts the kids. It's amazing how it impacts the kids. You know, so think about your children. You don't want to, because most of the time, boys or women who experience domestic violence tend to be abused themselves. So you are not helping your children staying. You are doing more damage than good to them. So get out and look for help.
I mean, even when you're saying getting out, doesn't mean divorcing her or divorcing him.
Yes.
Could mean having a time out.
Having
Yeah.
time
Get
out.
a place to
Because,
hook up.
because some men actually, people that go through counseling, some men they change.
Mhm,
People who
yeah.
are abusers, it's hard, but there are
Yeah.
people who, when they realize they're abusers, they can change.
Yeah.
So go for, if you don't want to divorce the person, go for counseling.
Yeah,
Go for
that's
help,
why
both
you
of
have
you.
a relationship counseling,
Yes.
psychotherapists who do all that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this is going to be very interesting
And, I'm
topic.
looking forward
Let's
to
just, I know I'm looking forward to hearing about domestic violence from a male perspective because again, you hardly hear that. Let's just take a quick break and we'll be right back. Oh, do you know what? Sorry.